Grew up round folk on the hustler stones. Vice lords, grew up round Latin King maniacs.
Hey, yo, it's the General Prolific. You are now in tune to EO Radio. I took a little leave of absence, but I'm back, so I'm very excited to do this interview, this conversation today. We are live and direct from ICS Records. You already know the vibes. Nexus Minotti. Blessing, sir. You know I fuck with you, love you. See you out here being real busy, being real active. Yeah, I mean, you everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Proud of you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man. You killing it.
Thank you.
I have, man, you know, when I started getting back into the music scene about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, this was a figure that I constantly seen in the music scene, a person whose pen and hip-hop lexicon, when it comes to the lyricals, I respect enormously. Always been a cool dude to me. Don't know how, anyone else perceives you, but you A1 with me. 2022, you made your contribution to the discography of hip hop with Chillin' and Maintaining. There's a real cool dope song on there. You got about friends that I fuck with heavy, because you come at it from all angles of friendship, which I thought was really dope. His storytelling ability obviously sets him apart. I don't know if you know that, but your ability to tell a story is pretty spectacular. I got the one and the only K3 in the studio with us tonight.
Appreciate y'all having me. Thank you so much.
How you doing, brother?
Man, business as usual, dog. I can't complain, man. I'm just staying productive, staying busy, working on music. Just getting money.
Yes, sir.
That's all we really can do in this
Yes,
day and
sir.
age. It seems to be what's...
Lloyd Banks had a line. It was like, money don't make you, but you got to learn how to make you some.
Facts. I dig that.
You feel me?
I dig that.
And he also that same song that, Lloyd Banks is for someone that I respected for a long time. Obviously, I'm older than you. So, like, the mixtape era and when G Unit popped was, when I was about, like, 16, 15 years old. But that same song, he had a line, bro. He said, "Every nightmare I woke up and brought me a dream car." Bars.
Every nightmare I woke up and brought me a dream
Yeah, after
car.
every nightmare I woke up and brought me a dream car. That's a bar.
I dig that.
Super heavy, man. The Course of the Inedible. If y'all some hip hop fans and have been sleeping on Lloyd Banks, go check out. Cody 1 is cool. Cody 2 wasn't as good as Cody 1. It still is as good a project, but that Cody, that Course of the Inedible, bro, that shit gave me like an inspiration. I don't know if you ever have you've been a long-term fan of an artist that they release a project and for some reason that particular artist just speaks to you. Just like inspires you to Nas. I mean, I'm a big Nas guy. That's no surprise to anyone. But Lupe is one of those guys. There's certain people, Combin. There's certain people that when they drop new music, no matter where I'm at, I stop what I'm doing. I listen to the whole project. It's like, okay, I need to get in the lab. You got anybody like that?
Kendrick.
Okay.
Kendrick's my favorite rapper.
All time?
All time, man.
Word.
All time.
Okay.
It like at first, because really, at first it had been Eminem, largely because I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of rap when I was growing up. That was very controlled. My musical palette was kind of
for religious purposes or just censor purposes.
I don't even. It wasn't really a religious thing. It was just a not wanting your kid to be listening to a bunch of cuss words and just misogyny and a whole bunch of whatever. Yeah, man, and I just because I didn't get introduced to that by my folks. You know what I'm saying? I was in middle school. They had the computer labs and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just fuck it. I'm gonna just listen to. And honestly, that came after my homeboy had showed me this song he made called Fact, right?
Yeah.
And we were in class listening to that, man. And thank God it wasn't a class that had been an exam week kind of thing or whatever, because we were just in there kicking it. But I was dying laughing. That was one of the hardest times I ever laughed in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? I was just so when you a 12-year-old kid and you hear some shit like that, you gotta hear more. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I'm listening to Eminem from like 7th grade, like heavy all the way to like, you know, like 10th grade and on, you know what I mean? But I got put on to Kendrick by my best friends in like my junior year of high school. We were just like all, you know, they were driving up front. I was in the back seat like cooling, and they wanted...
Was it Section 80?
It was Section 80, bro. It was Section 80. And it was like, I think the first one they showed me was Poor Man's Dreams, right?
Incredible.
And that's kind of what like, you know how they, you know, you see those memes and you hear those quotes about like, you know, like a kid like coming to consciousness for the first time or whatever. Like, it just felt like that happened like again. You know what I'm saying?
Like a realization.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like a rebirth of sorts. You know what I mean? And it was like that, you know, with that album for, you know, I want to say like about a year or so. Well, really, I've been like poring over that album since I got, you know, exposed to it. It was listening to Poor Man's Dreams and then Blow My High. Those were like the first two like Kendrick tracks that I was just listening to like on repeat, and then like I listened to the whole album and I was just like, okay, yeah, like it's Kendrick like forever, you know what I mean? But that wasn't even the album that, you know, really like let me know that I could do this, you know what I'm saying? Like I had ideas of what kind of music I wanted to make and the sort of impact I wanted to have, and, you know, the feeling I wanted to have my music to have. And when I heard To Pimp a Butterfly, bro, when I heard To Pimp a Butterfly, it was probably a year after it released, right? And I think that was like, I don't know, that was a real interesting time, because it's like a couple years after high school, you know, like you're coming into the real world and really experiencing it for what it is instead of what you thought it would be. And that album just kind of like helped me tap into like my inner blackness, you know what I'm saying? It made me like feel seen. It made me like be like, okay, yeah, like it just felt like Kendrick was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It made like, I was kind of hating a little bit on the inside too. It was like, damn, it just felt like he was just one big ass leap ahead of me, because it's just like, damn, like how can I top that? You know what I mean? Like how can I make, you know, something soulful and jazzy that's not that, but has as much impact as that? You know what I mean? But that album, like, it did for me what like Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing did for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's a great analogy.
It was
a great comparison. Yeah.
It was that dope. You know what I mean? And that was the one that connected with me to the most, and still does to this day. You know, like I've, you know, heard all his albums since then, and, you know, mixtapes and ones before. It's To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you said those two artists, because in my circle of like hip hop aficionados, we always said that if Slim Shady was from the hood, he would sound like Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like that's how we look at it, just from their style, the whole voice changing thing, the whole storytelling. It's funny because, you know, you're a good storyteller, and those two are great storytellers. That's dope. That's very interesting. So you graduated high school 2014? Yeah. Okay. Isn't that a motherfucker, bro? As you grow older, this is 10 years out now, what you thought life would be isn't really what it turned out to be in some aspects. Maybe some it is, maybe some is not. But as you grow into like different levels of manhood, it's kind of weird how life hits you, and then how you react to life or respond to life either makes you feel like a piece of shit or makes you feel proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Because adulting's a motherfucker, man.
Oh, yes.
I mean, if you ain't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, this shit is hard as fuck out here.
Big facts. Big facts. And it's only getting harder.
Especially this economy shit.
Yeah, it's whack. It's quite whack.
Yeah, so I saw you on the bill for a Hip Heart.
For Hip Hearts?
Yeah.
For Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Talk to me a little bit something like that. You excited to do it?
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a dope show.
On new music, or?
Let me do a couple new tracks.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I had some stuff kind of like sitting in the pocket that, you know, I want to do, because this is going to be like my last show for a little while. I just kind of want to take a step back and you know, just focus on writing. You know what I mean? And you know, this, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I'm looking forward to it because it has so much hip hop energy surrounding it. Like, if you look at this, if you look at this lineup, bro, it's just like, this is like Tampa hip hop, like to a T, like a great nice chunk of it. You know what I'm saying? And the St. Pete artists like involved in it as well. Just kind of like it bridges a gap as well. You know what I mean? It's dope, man. It's dope.
Salute to Caleb Music, man. That St. Pete scene. I went to one of his listening parties out there at the Factory, I believe it's called. Great scene, great talent, great acts. I'm happy because it brings a different flavor to like our Tampa Bay area, you know, and the fact they're working out there. It seems like, I don't know, behind the scenes, those, you know, I'm not like cool everybody, but it seems like they have a good like unified front out there. So from Caleb to like Neptune and some other folks out there that I really fuck with, it's really cool to see what's popping out there. But I know Des Nicole's on there. Salute to Des Nicole. She's the homie. I know you're on there. I know Syke performing.
Yeah, he's on there.
And then who else is on the bill?
Nico Sweet.
Oh, Nico Sweet. Okay. Salute to Nico.
K Lion.
K Lion did my face tat. Salute to you, K Lion.
Where? Let me see.
A little something small.
Oh, that's cool,
a little
man.
something small, but
that's fresh. She's fire with it, man.
She is. I mean, I'm tatted as fuck, but like still getting your faith. All right, so you feel like your faith as what kept you in, doing music. Your faith was a big proponent as to why you never felt discouraged to stop. Do you feel like it was purpose? Do you feel like it was destiny? Why has the faith been such an instrumental part in you keep doing music?
It's just a part of, like, my faith has always been like a part of me. You know what I mean? Like, my relationship with God, my relationship with Christ has always been like, it's Kenneth, you know what I'm saying? But it's also K3, you know what I mean? And like, I suppose because of how little I've been exposed to hip hop and having like an ability to rap the way I do, and it affect people the way that my music does, it makes me grateful and thankful to God for that. So that's why, like, it's one of the reasons I don't cuss in my rhymes and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not because like I don't cuss, like I cuss all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if I'm gonna give what he gave me back to him, you know what I'm saying, I can at least tithe my music by not cussing in it.
That's
you know
dope.
What I'm saying? Like, and I know it might be a little weird, a little bit much, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, that's my thing. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like,
you know, it's funny you say that because back in the day when you made music, you would have to make, like, it would almost made more sense because you were so reliant on radio that if you made a song, you would have to make a clean version of it. Yeah. Because if you didn't make a clean version of it, they'll just edit it and then it'll sound like shit on wax, like over the air. So you would have to basically make like a clean version of it. And being able to like spit and not use cuss words almost puts you at an advantage from that perspective. Yeah. But we were talking about a little bit. So did you ever like dabble or hear, or you ever had an introduction to like Christian hip hop? Because Tampa, for a long time, there's a church called Crossover, and they have one of the like first, if not the first, one of the dopest music festivals every year at Crossover, Flavor Fest, and it was a staple here. A lot of like bigger, like, or not bigger, but the biggest Christian artists in the hip hop will come and perform at that music festival or at the things that were going on here. Have you ever experienced any Christian hip hop?
Not like that. It was always something I heard in passing and was just kind of taken aback by. I remember like when I was a kid, like it sounded like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
taken aback.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, like why? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, and when I was a kid, it seemed like a good idea. It's like, oh yeah, like I'm a Christian. I like rap. I should be a Christian rapper. Right. And then I listened to some Christian rap and I was like, nah, never mind. I'm just gonna just be a Christian who raps. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And That's just what it's been since then. But I mean, I should check out Christology. I should check out some Lecrae.
Yeah,
I should
the Ambassador's real dope. He had an album called Christology, which I was telling you about. To ever check out Lecrae, obviously he was very well known, but like KB is a really creative artist. Los, which is a battle rapper I was telling you about. Salute to you, Los. I've been trying to get him on the pod pretty soon, hopefully. But there's a couple out there now. That world is huge though, bro. They have their own music festivals. They sell, like, they stream like crazy. Like, they're international. Like, they do very well for themselves. Back in the day, you were making, like, you know, $15,000 a year if you were a good rapper. You know what I mean? And it was rough out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But definitely, I sent you a couple artists because it's definitely something that you think, I think that you might be probably impressed by the subject matter and the lyrical ability of some of the rappers. Is there anyone in your life that you, and you don't have to answer this question, this is a new question I started asking my guests.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you feel like that you should forgive in your life that you haven't?
Is there anybody in my life that I should forgive that I haven't forgiven?
You know, like they you know, you should give them your forgiveness. You just haven't got, maybe around to, or you haven't got over what the offense or the hurt was, or too much time has passed, or you just feel like, you know, but sometimes it comes up in, you know, life and relationships or work relationships or whatever is happening, or something triggers it and it reminds you of this person that kind of has this effect over you. You feel like I need to let that go.
Shit, I need to forgive myself, bro. You feel me? Like, the very nature of my faith requires that I be a forgiving individual. So it's not hard to forgive, like, you know, like, it's hard to I'm not going to say that forgiveness isn't hard when people slight you, or, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I ain't never going to forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, ever. You can't forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can forgive, like, all day, every day, no problem. Because, like, you know, not forgiving you just takes up too much of my energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, that sounds like some hate shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me. It's not of God. It's not of me. You know what I'm saying? I do what I can to be forgiving.
So why yourself?
To the extent that I can. Myself, this is like, I'm my own worst enemy, like 1,000%. Like, that shows up, like, time and time again, like, in patterns, and, you know, just, you know, I don't know. Like,
you find the irony that you're able to forgive anyone and everyone else, but it's hard for you to forgive yourself?
I mean, I feel like that's the case for, like, a lot of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? The majority, I think. You know what I mean? Because, like, I've definitely had, like, you know, you have, like, a falling out with people, but when it's real, you know, and when it's love, like, truly, like, you'll always either, like, reconnect, or you'll find a way to, like, forgive them and move on, like, in peace. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just, I don't know, with yourself, like, I don't know, I haven't really taken the time to instruct myself on how to, you know, love myself, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of a thing that I didn't really put,
that's real,
you know, up here on top of priorities. I'm more worried about, like, you know, my music career, you know what I'm saying, getting money, you know what I mean, just being established, you know what I'm saying, like, and I don't know, that's what's put on you as a man, you know what I'm saying, like, you either, and I mean, with me, like, it's a little bit easier because, like, I've decided that I'm gonna follow my dreams, you know what I mean, like, I'm not gonna, like, do a thing in case this thing doesn't work out. Like, this is the thing, and whatever I do around this thing is gonna help this thing.
Supporting
you know
that
what I mean?
overall dream.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we feel like we have enough time, but, like, there's always enough time to forgive ourselves or get around to whatever dilemmas or issues or hindrances we have in our life. But I feel like sometimes, not you, just talking about general. Yeah. I just feel like sometimes if it's subconscious or not, I feel like it could be a hindrance to ourselves because it shows up in different areas unexpectedly, or we see it coming and we try to avoid it at all costs. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like, I know maybe, you know, I did some shit in my life to myself, fuck like someone else, but to myself. And then if I'm getting into a relationship, I know I need to address this. this situation or this habit, or if it's pride, or if it's not being as understanding or not being as merciful, or whatever that looks like for an individual. And since we're not able to forgive ourselves, it shows up in our ability to interact with other people, or if we're in a work setting, or with our parents, or with our loved ones, or if it's family, or if a really close friend, or when certain situations arise. I feel like when we don't forgive ourselves, and the reason why that's important is because we don't live in full liberty or in our full potential that we could be. Does that make sense?
I can dig that.
It's tough though, man. It's not an easy thing, man. Forgiveness, especially, I mean, you come from my same faith, so I mean, it's something that's drilled in us, and it's something that is the cornerstone of our faith. But when we real boil down to it, I've had to ask myself sometimes, what is real forgiveness? Like, what does that truly mean? Saying I forgive you, am I really releasing all the negative that came with me actually saying I forgive you, or am I doing it just because I know I have to do it?
Yeah, saying it is only half the battle. You gotta mean that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because then you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't really mean it.
Yeah, like, the same way like you would ask for forgiveness, and be intentional in that, you would also have to like give out forgiveness and be intentional in that regard too. Like, I'm not gonna say sorry if I'm not sorry.
That's
you know
dope.
what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
good.
that's just, I never have. I'm not gonna start
Right.
now. Like,
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? Like, never.
I agree with that one, bro. I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Man, you've been in such a unique perspective, and being in collectives like Wave Theory and meeting such incredible artists, hosting Shuffle Remix. How do you feel about the Tampa music scene, man? Do you see what are your thoughts on the growth? What are your thoughts on the future of it? What are your thoughts on just the overall talent that this place, I mean, Tampa right now isn't a place of when you say outside of Florida, people are automatically going to think of, oh, let's go listen to the hip hop there. You know what I mean? I think that's changing. Salute to Gats, getting signed. Salute to Pusha Preem. Even though he's not like only a hip hop artist, but he's hip hop for sure. And then seeing acts like like Dolce. So there's definitely like starting to be like a spotlight on it, so to speak. Little by little, I see it. Taliban had like a No Jumper interview, so forth and so on. But you being in the midst of it, like actually in the nitty gritty of it, like how do you feel about being an artist that's from here, and how do you feel about the reputation that the Tampa hip hop's getting?
It's a learning experience, I gotta say, because the music industry is a dirty game. Yeah, I mean that's something that it's like you learn that like early on, and you in most conversations about the scene, I hear a lot of like complaints. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of like cliquey bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what I'm exposed to more and what I put myself around more is just like community. You know what I mean? Like the positive aspects of it. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be crabs in a barrel in every city. You know what I'm saying? In every scene, in every facet of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think spending less time identifying, which is which, and just spending more time being what you want to see out there is what has helped me have like a good time out here. You know what I mean? Now I definitely have I don't know, like it feels like a long like journey, you know what I mean? And it feels like a big community of people that just all get it. We're all playing on the same sheet of music here. Like it feels like I'm in
Square way to put it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it really does. It's like for some reason, like you can just kind of, because of how much time we spend in the scene, anywhere we go like outside of Tampa, you can kind of like tell who's an artist and who isn't, like
Right,
on
for
some
sure.
like
Yeah.
like on some Matrix shit.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because we're all hungry out here, we all got dreams, and there's enough food for everybody.
And that's a huge one. There's definitely enough food for everybody. I'm almost taken aback, bro, and just how dope the talent is out here, man. Even seeing people like Lee Kenobi that's just new to the scene, and seeing obviously he was doing music outside of Tampa, but I'm saying him having a rebirth, so to speak. And just from like Nico to Vern to Sai to Des Nicole. I mean, I could keep naming names. I don't want to miss nobody, making nobody feel a certain type of way. But there's so much talent that I hope it keeps growing. I hope people keep their hustle on. Because honestly, what it really comes down to is just hustle. Because, you can have all the talent you want in the world. But, like, if you ain't hustling out here, that's the only thing that keeps people back. That's what I personally feel, just from being the 2 years that I've been back involved into it. It's just like, either you got the hustle or you don't. Mm-hmm. No one's going to give you anything. Stop expecting anyone to give you anything. And if you have the ability to, get a group of people together and throw something, throw it. Like, what's the worst that's going to fucking happen? It get better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's so much talent. And not everybody could be on every bill. Not everybody could be part of every show.
Right.
And there's so much times where, like, I like seeing when there's something new pop up. Like, I like seeing the usual suspects, of course, because I'm a fan of their music. But I like seeing people say, no, well, I got a show, come to it. Like, okay, where I never heard of, like, whatever, like 4 of these artists. Mm-hmm. So let me go, just go check it out and see what it's about. Yeah. Salute to Dillman putting on, his events. Me and him done some shit together has been dope. But salute to him to just, being able to say, no, well, I'm just gonna do my own shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I've been a huge, when the first place I went to when I first started was Shuffle. The first place I take new artists to, or people who want to do music in Tampa, is I usually take. I'm not able to go because I work in like my schedules, whatever. I can't be there all the time. But when like I meet a person like, oh, I do music, it's like, hey bro, you should go check out this like open mic at Shuffle. How do you feel like that's played a role in a lot of people's development, that open mic, man?
I can't
You've been part of it so long.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience, I gotta say. It's like really humbling and really special to me that folk will come up and be like, hey yo, like you're doing a good thing for the city, and like we need this, and blah blah blah, like you put people on and so on and so forth. And to me it's just like, man, I was just hosting some shit, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like I was just doing what you know what I'm saying, like just doing what I was supposed to do type shit, you know what I mean? Like it just, I'm glad that Tonai and DJ Kellen are keeping the vibe going, keeping it a home for artists, because that's all I wanted it to be. Like essentially I just wanted the remix to make people feel the way I felt when I first started going to Smoking Words. When it was over there on
Whiskey North?
Nah, before then. It was at Dunn's River Cafe over there on Fowler and 30th.
See, that's before me. Okay, wow.
Yeah, that was when I first was getting out here and performing and rapping in front of people and doing poetry and shit like that. Because really, like, my first like performing experience was at TP, the Poets in USF, right? Okay. And I spit a poem. I wanted to get into poetry to just get better at rapping, you know what I'm saying? Get back to the root of it all, you know what I mean? I'd always been poetic with it anyway, but like just being on the poetry scene just made sense to me, And I had a homie tell me about Smoking Words and what that was all about, and it just so happened to be like a mile from the crib, and I didn't have a car at the point, and by the time it started the buses wasn't going over there, so I was just footing it. Like I'd wait maybe like a little bit.
Dedication.
Yeah, I was walking. You know what I'm saying? I was walking.
And it's Florida heat. That's love right there.
To get first in line to get up there and
if you're gonna go to Smoking Words, just to let you know, whatever time it starts, if it's 10 or 11, I forget which one it is, be there 10 or 11, so you're not like artist number 58. I'm being a little exaggerated, but you know what I'm saying? Because at the end, everybody leaves, and it's like you just rapping it for yourself at that point.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
But salute to Smoking Words. Salute to what's your name? The Info, Novocaine. Salute to you. No, that's your name. That's how you introduced yourself to me when I first met her.
Nova the Nymph.
Yeah. So salute to her. Obviously, in her own right, she's an incredible poet. But what she's been able to do and be a staple in the city, we salute you for sure.
Big facts.
For sure. And we go. I mean, I go with Nexus. We perform. We like the vibes. It gets spicy on what night you go to. Just be prepared.
Yeah.
It gets spicy.
The first Thursdays, boy.
It gets spicy.
It gets
but
real
in a very artistic way, though. You know, and I've
Yeah.
seen even people do like meditation rituals there too.
I
You
ain't
know,
peeped
I've seen
that
some
yet.
dope shit there, dog. Dope shit.
They
Dope
doing it
shit.
all.
Is there some thank yous you want to give out just from this journey you've been on so far? Because I know you was it Charles Indigo?
Yeah, Charles Indigo.
I never.
Like,
Is he still rapping?
rap? Nah.
Producing?
I mean, not that I've seen.
Okay.
For him, like he was like, from what I remember him telling me, it was like he was coming up like in them YP days with
Okay.
Mike and them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And in the early days of my being in Wave Theory, like he was rapping and stuff
Okay.
like that. But like in recent years, like I haven't, you know.
But that's dope. You did the first show with him though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like a big deal. That was a big thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm forever grateful for, you know, to him for introducing me to Mike and company, and I'm
Yeah, for
forever
sure.
grateful to Mike Mass and Wave Theory, and you know, for everything I learned like on that, you know, stretch of time where I was in that team, and even afterwards, because I still talk
Yeah.
to Mike. You know, Mike still gives me advice on shit, you know, and we, you know, I be buying beats, using beats, and
Right.
you know, it's like nothing's changed.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? Like I definitely gotta thank Nova King, because you know, without that stage, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, like sharpen myself up to the point, you know, where I'm at now. You know
For
what
sure.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
H,
Who's that?
H, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, the
like,
dude who puts on the Loud on 7th or whatever?
yeah, man,
Okay, I got
H,
you.
yeah, like, for Decipher, because that was another stage that I took, you know, advantage of when I was first getting out.
Got you.
Just, you know, without, as I understand it, like without him wouldn't be no like Tampa music scene.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like from, you know, just what's been told to me like through the grapevine and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So like, you know, shout out to him. Dennis Amadeus, Grow House, you know what I'm saying? Like, they, like, that collective is like just a whole powerhouse, man. It's
Dope.
like all love, like all the good vibes.
Yes,
like
sir.
it's just like
Salute to y'all.
yeah, like I want to say thank you to everybody that listens to my music, that fucks with me, likes my
For
raps.
sure. For sure. Do you have any, not to, you know, exclude anyone, but do you have any favorites in the local scene right now that you're like, yo, that right there, I need to see you win. I need to
Favorites?
see you win.
Man, look, like, dog, I just want to see like if I start naming, I'm gonna name everybody like in
the
the
people that you just
same.
like are just like, yo, their music just really hits to you.
Yeah,
Like, you don't
man,
have
like,
to. It's cool. I don't want to like start like whatever. But I'm just
like
saying.
K Lion, Jay Brown, you know, of course, Mike Mass, Perception, Psych, Albert J, Tox, Tune the Poet, you know what I'm saying? Nico, working on some stuff with Nico.
Nico's, bro. Nico, I would say this. Nico is definitely my top three
Crazy
artists.
with
She
it.
blessed me with a verse, bro. She didn't have to, so thank you to you for that. I still got to release that song, but yeah, Nico, to me, I've always been a Nico. You know, what's the way to put this? I always make sure to mention Nico for sure. Anytime I can, like Nico, I think it's just from. I mean, obviously she can rap, but just creatively how she makes her music, from the aesthetics to like the actual musical content, the themes, how she switches her flows. I'm a fan. I'm for sure.
1,000%, man. Yo, and Johnny Champagne with the band and all that, man. Like, bro, fire. Like jazz. You know, just like it's.
You're like the third person. I haven't had I've been blessed to experience it in person, but I've heard great things about it, man.
Gotta check it out.
So what? Like he just works with rappers, or he puts on his own? Like he has
he
his
like
own,
he
music?
does it all. Like he sings, raps like while playing the piano and
Okay.
shit. Like the whole, like he has like a whole band like together.
Right.
You know, with oh god, man, I'm trying to like name all of them like off the top of my head. Like just basically Johnny Champagne and like their band. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Frankie Brown. Did I already say Bangarang?
Yeah, but Bangarang's hard.
Bangarang's hard
Been
as
around
fuck.
for a minute too, and they've been doing their thing for a while.
I'm trying to think too. There was somebody I was just listening to not too long ago.
Now let me ask you a question, bro. So just switch to segue, right?
Yeah.
So like if I'm talking about, this is like your homie, like you're cool with them, right?
Yeah.
You got to go on a road trip.
Yeah.
You understand? You got to be with this person for about 5-10 hours on the road. You know?
5-10 hours on
now,
the road.
Music's subjective, right? What some people like, some people don't. I get that for sure, but this is not like a stranger, someone that you're really cool with. They're like, if they slacking, you'll tell them like you guys know each other's secret. Like, this is your friend, but they got bad taste in music. How long into the trip you can say, you know what, bro? We gotta come out with an agreement, a compromise. That I play some of my shit, play you some of shit, because this music, I can't listen to it the whole ride.
We gotta talk about that before we pull off. Before we
okay.
pull out the driveway,
Okay.
bro. Like, that's got, because 5-10 hours of whatever the fuck that is he playing, like, nah, bro, because music is hella important to me. It's one of them things, and that's the thing about it. It's like, I like a lot of music. So if you have, like, a taste in music that, like, I can't jive with, it's like, it's
surprising.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's not often that I come across that, so I can't even really, think of nobody that would even go down with, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
can you date someone with a bad taste in music?
Can I date somebody with a bad?
Yeah.
I have.
I
have, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's like, and if I'm gonna date somebody, like the music it has to be like, it doesn't have to be my taste,
right?
But it
has to be good though.
It has to be like something, again, like something I can jive with, bro.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%. Like it's like I don't know, like I can't.
I feel like music is a big representation of who you are.
Yeah,
like what you like is a big representation as far as when it comes to music, particularly because it's so vast. So like me, like as much as I love hip hop, I just only don't listen to hip hop, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm Puerto Rican, so I would listen to salsa merengue. I like even from, if it's classical, like from Mozart or Beethoven or Chopin, to like, reggae, to pop art, to Florence and the Machine, to the list goes on. Like I can as long as it's good, I can listen to it.
Yeah.
But it gets tough out there, bro.
Yeah, when you come, especially like when you dating somebody and you got to sit in the car with him, bro. Think about it. Who's your like hip hop aside, right? Who is your favorite musical artist? Like,
mine?
Yeah, like of any genre, like of any, like, what if you just had to pick one? Because I know there's probably multiple.
Tough,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you just had to pick one out of the air right now.
M80 for sure.
M80.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of Sense, a lot of The Kills, which is a rock group.
Right, but you said M80, right?
Yeah.
Like you thought about it for a moment, it took some time, you said M80.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna say Prince, no matter what. I'm always gonna say Prince, right?
I mean,
so
Prince,
I won't even need no time to think about it. It's
right.
Prince,
Yeah.
right? But when, like, I remember I asked this one girl, and again, it was like, it's one of those things, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a red flag, you know what I mean? For me, personally,
For sure.
right? But like, I asked her, I was like, who is your favorite musical artist? You know what I'm saying? And this is, you talking to an artist, like,
right. She couldn't give you
music. Just think of all the artists in
right.
the world, right? And I'm not going,
Millions.
I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying?
Millions.
Like, and this is, again, you want to talk about, like, something, representative of you.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Who do you connect with
Yeah.
on that almost spiritual level?
Right.
She was like, Sweetie.
Sweetie the rapper?
Sweetie, yeah.
How,
and I was,
that's a very recent artist too.
Yeah, and I was like, of all time? You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then that went the way it went.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But that was like and I knew from the music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you ignore shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like.
No, and Sweetie, if you ever, which I doubt you ever will, but if you ever see this, I haven't listened to your whole catalog.
Look, no shade whatsoever.
Singles for sure.
I'm going off of, like,
I got you.
It's like on a dating thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can understand, like, if you said Sweetie because, like, was one of your favorite artists that you like to just vibe out to and,
at a
party to,
setting,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and twerk to and shit, you know what I'm saying? But, like, what about when you're thinking about shit? You know what I'm saying? What about,
No,
like,
I feel you on that one for sure. That's why I asked the question. Yeah, for sure. That's a tough one. All time? Yeah. Yeah. Because you think about how long you've been listening to music for.
Yeah.
Like I've always been a musical person. I've been listening to music my whole life since I could think of conception. Like when you start forming thought, I could think about the music of that time. You know what I'm saying? So like music, and then everything influences everything.
Yeah.
So as much as people want to deny that or get mad when people compare it to someone else,
Yeah.
like music, like The Weeknd, there wouldn't be a Weeknd without The Dream. We could debate that, whatever. There was a thing when The Weeknd came out, so the style, but that's just a fact. All these new like rappers that came, a lot of them were birthed from like Sosa, from Chief Keef. You know what I mean? Especially the 2012 on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like everything is influenced from everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm scared to tell someone when they remind me of an artist because I don't want them to feel a certain type of way, even though it's coming from like me complimenting them.
Yeah.
Because people feel what they feel about music, and sometimes they can't remove the art from the artist.
Right.
But I mean, the Prince thing, that's not, I mean, honestly, I've heard that a lot. I mean, that's not I mean, Prince never stopped making music. Prince did so much things in the music industry within itself, just as from a hero perspective of going against like the labels and all that shit. But that's what's up. Who else would you say besides Prince?
Who else besides Prince?
Yeah.
Like of all time?
Yeah, besides hip hop.
Shit, man. It's tough because
Are you like Haitian, Jamaican, Caribbean? Well,
I have no idea.
which Haitian, Jamaicans are Caribbean? I don't want to say that, but
Yeah.
West African or some shit.
Yeah, I have no idea, bro. I have.
Okay, you never looked into it?
Nah, cause like, I mean,
But it wasn't culturally in your upbringing that was like, this is our music. I was at my Puerto Rico, so I was introduced to Puerto Rico.
I mean, like on the culture tip, like if I just had to go through like the Rushmore of artists, it'd be like Prince, Mint Condition, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's one hell of a list.
Like just off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
it's one hell of a list for sure.
Like, and that I don't know. Like with I'm sure like culture playing a role. I probably have like a lot more than just
for sure, yeah.
Because like that's the thing, like I have no idea what I am. I got to do that ancestry or the African ancestry, like one of those two, and then I'll know like for certain, but
is there any place in the world that costs you? Like if right now money wasn't an object and you could take as much time off work as you could go, as you could have, like where would you go in the world? Anywhere.
Like anywhere, like
it could be in America too.
Like oftentimes, like I think of either like Africa or Japan. You know what I mean? You know, where in Africa? No idea.
It's a big continent.
Like, cause like everything is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like that's where the world came from, essentially. You know what I mean?
Mother of civilization for sure.
You know,
and you know most people don't understand is the Middle East is in Africa. Egypt is in Africa. Just let y'all know that don't be knowing that shit.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I mean, Japanese culture like surprises me so much because number one, from just a political like American standpoint, like we dropped the nukes on Japan, you know, and you go to Japan and they're obsessed with different eras of like American culture. Like there's greasers. Like there's no more I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a greaser culture somewhere in America. Yeah. But that's not like a prominent thing in every city. You know what I mean? And if it is, it's very small. You know what I mean? But there's like dudes who just dress like Grease and they like the cars, they like the leather jackets, wear their hair that way. There's like Japanese like cultures where like they're like black folks. Like they like tan themselves to be black. Like they wear like hoop earrings, like ratchet black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like there's, which I'm not saying everybody who like is ratchet.
Ratchet Japanese people,
bro. My dukes, bro. There's like a whole subculture just for that. Like there's different American like subcultures throughout time of our history that they're just obsessed with, and they live their whole life that way. It's very interesting to me because if someone dropped a nuke on me, I don't care if it's 50 years later. You know, the Spaniards like ruled my people for a long time. The French and the Spaniards ruled like Puerto Rico for almost like 300 years. You know what I mean? So just off rip, no disrespect to Spain. If I go there one day, I want to go to Barcelona for the architecture. But I'm saying generally, I just don't fuck with that whole colonization like culture. You know what I mean? Just because what my people went through. I'm very far removed from that. I was born in 1987. Like I wasn't enslaved by them. Right. But just, you know, looking at it, it's like, man, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it just blows my mind that like Japanese culture specifically is so obsessed with American culture, and you find those different, and they love hip hop. they took over breakdancing, which is a big part of like hip hop culture. Like they run that shit. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. Like I know a lot of Japanese people that are nasty and fucking, you know, breakdancing. But it's just interesting to me, like how it's their own now. And sometimes those overseas cultures cherish the culture more because it wasn't birthed there, it's not from there, so they have a little bit more reverence toward it. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting to me. That's all. But I want to go to Japan myself. Like to experience Japan would be a vibe.
It's like a whole other world out there. It looks like
Super.
Like,
and will stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have homeboys that went out there, they were just regular black dudes, and they stopped them thinking they were like rappers or like athletes. Like they'll stop you to take a picture. No, they'll stop you, and they don't even know who the fuck you are. They'll just stop you in the middle of the street to take a picture with you.
Shit. Hey, look, once I go to, I mean, that's gonna be a good place to promote my shit. Then you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, speaking about that, man, yo, I something that I've been getting into. That I like advise, especially up and coming artists, is pay for ads on your socials and your YouTube channel in different countries. Like, what stops you from? I think it was Russ that said like the day and age of like thinking you have to pop in your city first is still a thing. Like once the internet happened, it's not a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Sometimes we try to. I mean, you want to have your people like fuck with you and your city fuck with you, of course. I'm not saying that, but throughout history, there's been like ASAP Rocky, like Action Bronson, like those guys popped off in Europe before they popped off in America. Like they actually got popping more over there than they did over here. You know what I mean? So, and then you have like a stream's a stream, a view's a view. So if you're paying for ads in Argentina or Brazil that has mad people, as opposed to just only focusing on your city where, you know, could be crab in a bucket, whatever the case may be. I mean, you might be hindering yourself and not getting those views, those likes, and that look, hindering your art from, like, getting out there. You feel me? So how about your strategy now, man, moving forward? I know you said you're working a lot of music. You step back from a lot of shit. Looking at the game, the world we live in, unfortunately, is algorithms. The world we live in, unfortunately, is based on, you know, to get paid as views and streams and all this other bullshit. I wish it wasn't, but it is. You looking at music from a hustle standpoint, like, how are you approaching it?
Well, first things first, I gotta, you know, re-up on my product. Gotta write more songs, new songs. That's been the main focus, and that's tough for me because it typically takes me a long time to write one.
Right. I mean? Are you a perfectionist in that perspective,
yeah,
or okay?
Like I'm real bad with it.
Every
like,
bar.
Like it'll take me weeks to write like a few
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous, but it's my process as of late. But aside from that, getting more comfortable with social media is also going to be a thing too, because like I'm not a social media person. Like I rarely post anything. Like I'm usually just either like doom scrolling or maybe like, you know, posting somebody else performing on my story or like a flyer or something like that. Like I need to get better at posting pictures of me, videos of me.
Yeah,
like,
bro. It's
you know,
almost you have to be
just
vain, and if you're not a vain person, it's tough, bro.
like I don't even think it's like a vanity thing. I think it's a confidence thing for me.
Okay.
I think it's like I don't maybe there's a part of me that's just like, oh nah, like ain't nobody gonna like see me do blah 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 blah.
Oh, interesting.
You know
Okay, okay.
Like, you know, but then like I'll post something and it'll get like a bunch of likes. I'm like,
Right.
okay, cool. Like, all right, yeah.
I got love
maybe
out here.
Maybe I should do another one, and then I post another one, and then maybe like 10 people see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yep.
the algorithm's just like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Want to pay for the ads, bro?
Yeah. That's probably what
Bro,
it
we
is.
release a short. Like I release a short on my YouTube channel, bro, and I'll get like 600. I release one like a day later, and they'll get like 10. Like you're saying, about 10 views. It's like this is not possible.
Shit is
There's no way 600 people saw my shit, and only 10 people saw it today. But it's playing the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I just found a new algorithm. You remix somebody's post. Like I remix somebody's post, right? From World Star Boricua, this girl rapper, right? On May 1st. To this day, it has almost 8,000 likes and 52,000 views.
Oh wow.
700 shares, 300 something saved.
Yeah.
And it told me this reel got you 200 something followers.
200 followers?
From this,
Oh shit.
From that remix that I did. And most people, it's like,
That's crazy.
and and my page, they relate. The people that follow, they relate to my page. That I do Latin music.
Right.
Majority is like Cuba,
Yeah.
South America people, Spanish people and shit. Right?
So it was true to your content.
Yes.
It made sense.
Yeah, and to right now, I can go right now. It's like a Bobby I like a second ago. You
Yeah.
know?
It's still getting looks.
It's still going,
Right.
bro. It's still going, and that's like a new. It's like I hit the jackpot on May 1st for that.
That's funky, bro.
Yeah, and now remix
Shit.
on Instagram.
Whatever works. Yeah. Whatever
Remix
works. That's dope.
I gotta
Who-
get up on my
who-
Spanish, bro.
Who was the shorty that was rapping? Was it like a known, like an independent artist, or was it like a known rapper?
Yeah, it was saying, independent artists, doing a remix for these Latin artists.
Okay.
And now I'm seeing comments saying, yo, what's the remix? Yo, remix.
Now they're looking for your page for the next one. Word.
They're looking for what's next.
It is. I mean, I experienced that too. I can relate to that too, bro. Because I'll go sometimes, bro, like 3 weeks, which I know is bad, but just posting something, because it's just not a natural. Like, I had to train myself to do that, bro. So now when I go to the event, I'm like, all right, the first 10 minutes just get content, so then I could chill. You know what I mean? Because like then I forget. Also on a personal level, I just missed out on memories of not just documenting shit for myself. Number one, because I'm just so present in the moment. But like, I had to train myself, bro. Like, yo, just get the content in already, so it's out the fucking way, and then like you're good just to enjoy yourself, you know. But it is interesting to view yourself as a person that people go to because they want to see what the fuck you're doing in your life. That took me a while to get used to.
Yeah.
Because I don't look at myself like that. Like, who I'm cool with. Like, for example, like, I'm cool with you every time I see you is love. But, like, I'm not, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't. Like, I don't take it the wrong way. But, like, I'm not trying to be, like, like, I'm not trying to hang out with you all the time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Like, all day, every day.
So,
like,
when you
no
do
problem.
post something, I do want to see it because, like, I don't, like, know you like that. So, like, it gives me a point of view, perspective into your world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's hard to look at yourself like, oh, there's someone like, bro, I still be, like, hyped when I get, like, 180 views on a fucking podcast, bro. So, I'm like, who the fuck are the 180 people? You know what I mean? Like, where they coming from? You know what I mean? People be like, oh, that's a little bit. But I'm like, nah, motherfucker. We got 180 people in here right now. It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of motherfucking people.
Yeah, you do a show, there's 180 people show up. That's a good turnout. You feel me? So it's like, so I think it's like, we do it because we want to express ourselves and like give our point of view if it's on topics or what's going on in the world today, or we make music because we want to share it. But it's still weird from a perspective because, when you get signed or you on the team or whatever, people do that for you. Like, so you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're just chilling, like, joking around, eating dinner, like, someone's just posting that and people go crazy over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's weird to, like, think that, like, because me personally, this is how I look at it, bro. Like, I don't care what Jay-Z does on his vacation with his kids. Why? Because I don't know Jay-Z. So, like, I know Nexus. Like, that's my friend. You know what I mean? So if something happens in his life, I'm going to know about it without Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, like, whatever his endeavors are, or his dreams, or whatever he's doing. Like, I know about it because I'm cool with him. But I think it's kind of weird sometimes, like, when I, like, scroll or I'm on, like, Google in the morning just to look at whatever the stories are. Like, oh, this person wore this out to go shopping. To me, first of all, it don't even look fly, number one. And number two, it's like, why do I care what gym shoes they wear to go fucking shopping? But people do. You know what I mean? So you don't want to deny your fans that access to you. But I come from an era where like, my favorite rapper, I wouldn't know anything about unless I brought a source, double XL, a Vibe magazine, or I saw him on like Rap City. But I like the mystery of it because sometimes I feel like the less mystery, it kind of kills. Like never meeting your idols is something that I truly believe in. Like, I never want to meet Nas. So I feel like if I meet Nas, he's having a bad day, he says something weird, I'll be like, bro,
every song is just
man, you ruined it for me. You feel me? And there's some artists that I think are so dope. Like, bro, if I ever got a chance to chill with Cameron, like, I'm chilling with Cameron, bro. I get a chance to chill with Ghostface, I'm chilling with Ghostface Killer. They're so just like interesting people that like you just want to be around them. You know what I mean?
I met Ghostface, bro. That shit was fucking incredible.
Bro, it's Ghostface Killer. Like, it's one of the most interesting. My brother's favorite, like, his top 3 favorite rappers is Ghostface. So I grew up listening to Ghostface. So, like, it's just, like, you hear him talk about shit, like, in his intros. Like, he just acting like this all the time? Like, this is who Buddy is? Bro. So it's just the interesting factor of that, more so almost to the music. Because we are our own product, you know what I mean? Like, most of the times, like, people buy a t-shirt, not always because of the music, but because of who you are as an individual. You know what I mean? And there's artists that like, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of their catalog. I'm not gonna say I don't like none of their songs, but there's like Waka Flocka. I can't say I'm not gonna lie and say I'm a fan of his music. Like there's like 4 or 5 Waka Flocka songs I like a lot, but he has a lot of music. You know what I mean? I'm not like gonna say Waka Flocka is the greatest rapper ever. But Waka Flocka as an individual and watches interviews and watches like thoughts on shit, to me it's so interesting that I'm a fan of his more so who he is than his music. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can dig that. Like when I think of like, well, see, I don't know. I can't think of any artists that I view like, I guess like exactly in that regard. But I guess because I want to meet Kendrick. I gotta meet Kendrick.
You would want to meet Kendrick?
I got.
That's like your favorite artist.
You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta meet him. You know what I mean?
He seems like he's a cool dude to meet though.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, he seems like he's an artist actually cool to meet.
Like off of like to Pimp a Butterfly alone,
Yeah.
like I just have to like meet him and at least thank him for making that album.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, if nothing else. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
Because, you know, like my definition of making it is evolving like every single day. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
When I think of making it, I think of being like, you know, rich and famous at first. And then I think about, you know, the cost of that. You know what I mean? And what that would mean for my ability to like raise a family, which is what I want even more than rap. The only thing I want even more than making it in rap is just being like a good husband and an even better father. You know what
That's
I mean?
hard.
Like I want that more than anything else. Like
Yeah.
I would give up.
That's
rap
beautiful,
for that,
man.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But you know, there's no reason I can't have both. So I want both.
For sure. And that's why I kind of like the Frank Oceans or even like the Kendricks. They'll make a project, they tour, and then they go away.
Yeah.
Like they live their life. I mean, I don't know if whatever's going on behind the scenes, but it seems that way. You know, I've always liked that type of fame over like other type of fame than being like a Drake famous, because it's
Yeah, I don't wanna
like,
be
bro,
Drake famous.
you can't go nowhere. And if you
Can't.
do, you guys have SEAL Team 6 as your security.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Everything Can you imagine, like, you know, we live in a culture now that's like super like judgmental and like they hold on every word you say on every interview or every pod, whatever. It's like, bro, like I don't want to be judged on like every single thought I have at every single moment. Because I already don't have a filter already, number one. You know what I mean?
That's what we ain't. That's what we're. That's the industry we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, this interview could come up, you know what I'm saying, like a few years from now. Like, oh,
Yes.
What? You don't like Sweetie, nigga?
Yes.
They're like, nah,
Yes.
bro. Like,
yes.
no, that's not what I said, bitch. Like, no, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's like, you know, like, fuck it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's what comes with it. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna have, like, millions of haters, bro. You
For
gonna
sure.
have, like, millions of motherfuckers saying that your shit is trash and, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, I can't let that discourage
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I do enjoy the type of fame where I'm not always like, if I had to choose my type of fame if I ever get famous, I do enjoy the type of fame where I admire, should I say, the type of fame where like you're not always, but once you do drop, it's a moment, and then you could go away. But you have to be that good and make that like innovative music and be that type of individual that
be
you
that
can
well
do that.
connected.
You know what I mean? Because that's a very hard type of fame to be able to go away, come back whenever you want, and it still be a moment. You know, again, we can name the very few artists that are able to do that. But when you think about, do you come from like a healthy family, like life? Like when you grew up, did you have like a healthy family? Like why is being a good father and a good husband so important to you? To say that's what you want more than anything. It's, first of all, it's very beautiful, of course, especially being, you know, a black man. But like, why is that important? Because you said both. Some people
yeah.
just choose one over the other.
Yeah, I want both. You know, I guess because that's the example that I had growing up. Like I grew up with both parents that loved each other. You know, they were my only example for how relationships worked and how they went and how they're supposed to go. And as an adult, you know, my understanding of that sort of thing evolved, and then, you know, you come into like that coming of age period where you look back and understand like part of why you are the way you are is because your parents were the way they were.
Yo,
You know
on
what I mean?
God,
Like,
for sure.
and making checking those parallels out and making those connections and stuff, it makes me want to do for the next generation what hadn't been done for me. Not that things weren't done to the best of my parents' ability, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I like it's something outside of the be fruitful and multiply thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I think that's what every man wants. You know what I'm saying? A wife and kids. You know what I'm saying? On a plot of land somewhere. You know what I mean? Just
I don't think no one says I want a bad marriage when I grow up, for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of the problem that I guess I face, is that marriage, and fatherhood is becoming something that, like, it's something that, like, I want in the way that I want $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I want to be able to fly, or like, I want to, just something, I mean, I want to go to the moon one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that can happen, and will happen if you put in the right amount of work and the right amount of effort. But shit, like, what's easier, I guess, like, just getting $1 million, or like having a successful marriage and raising happy, healthy, productive children. You know what I mean? And I don't know, you ask a lot of people that, I don't know if they exactly had an answer for you. It just depends on what you value more. I
think tough one is having $1 million, or let's say having $10 million and having a healthy family and productive relationship.
Yeah, like 10, like I don't know. And it's like, what would you rather have, almost? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a part of it where people kind of see that as, like, I don't know, like a family is kind of being, I don't know, made out to be kind of like a hindrance nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Which is
like
unfortunate.
Like settling down and like having kids and whatnot. The gender wars and all of that are part of what's kind of putting a damper on that whole thing, and it's unfortunate because the dating pool is like a cesspool, big. It's a fucking
it's tough dating out here, for sure.
Pothole, big.
Yeah, it's definitely tough dating. I would say this, as I get older. I mean, I've always noticed it, but definitely as I get older, I could tell someone who comes from a healthy family dynamic.
Yeah.
And I could tell someone who's been blessed to go through therapy. Which is nothing wrong with that. If you had the blessing of being in a healthy family, or being raised in the best environment, being able to go to therapy and better yourself as a human being. But I think that should, whatever that looks like for anyone, but having a healthy home to raise a kid should be the goal for us as a society. Off rip, you know what I mean? Because those formative years of having that healthy example is what forms our habits, is what forms how we treat people, is what forms how we treat each other in our community, in our tribe. And like that toxic shit, I talked about this before in the podcast before, but like that toxic shit, first of all, I'm glad it's played out, for the most part. But I don't think that people think that that's unnecessary in love. And we got to eradicate that thought that you have to have some type of toxic in your relationship and love in order for it to be, like, for you to have a relationship.
What I guess what,
I mean, I'm not saying
like,
no one's saying a PSA like that, but I'm saying when I talk to people.
Like, what's some of the rhetoric you've heard, like, that kind of supports that?
Well, number one, I've heard people say that they like toxic, some form of toxic in their relationship. Now, when they tell me what that form of toxic in their relationship is, I'm like, I mean, that's like toxic. You know what I mean? If that's jealousy, if that's not having trust, if that's being envious of your partner's accomplishments, if that's being super competitive.
Some people just like drama.
With each other. That's what I'm saying. But some people's norms, because they didn't have a healthy example of what it is to love or to be a good partner to their significant other, they feel like there has to be drama, and that's just a part for the core. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they like want it. I'm saying that they look at it like, oh, like you're meeting like shorties like, oh, every nigga's gonna cheat, and you try to tell them like, nah, bro, like not every dude's out here trying to cheat. Like, nah, every nigga cheats. Like, I'm just gonna, I just had to see like how they cheat. Like, what? Like, bro, so a girl came up to me and was like, yo, I'm going to cheat on you. It just depends how I cheat, and you have to accept it. And it was like, well, I mean, good luck with that. You feel me? But there's some people who honestly believe that, like, every relationship they ever saw, there was some form of infidelity. So they just believe that, like, that's going to come with every relationship that they're with. Like, for example, let me put it like this, right? Like check this out. So, huge stars in our world, not just in our culture, but in our world right now, is Cardi B and Offset, right? Yeah. So when Cardi B like found out Offset was cheating on her, or let's say even Jay-Z's a billionaire. So they're like, oh, it's not like, it's like, to me, cheating's cheating, bro. I don't care who the fuck you are or what form it comes in. To me, cheating's cheating. If that's a betrayal in a relationship, that's just how I look at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And whatever you can't do in front of your partner, if you do behind their back, to me, that's cheating. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily just sticking your dick or letting somebody fuck you. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective on cheating. Let me get that clear. But when I would look at the comments, you're like, well, it's not like, you know, it was your boyfriend that used your gas card and, like, you know, doesn't know how to treat you, cheating on you. This guy's a billionaire. It's like, what? It's like, nah, bitch, like, cheating's cheating. Like, I don't give a fuck who buddy is or what. First of all, if you're in a relationship and you're just satisfied with the way a man, you know, conducts himself as a man or takes care of business, and that's, like, something you should address altogether within itself. But, like, just making an excuse that someone's a billionaire so that gives them the right to cheat, to me, is wild.
Yeah, somebody don't need.
That's crazy. Nobody, you know what I mean? But that speaks to me of someone who's been cheating on for so long. So they're looking at it like, oh, who's the guy who's worth me being with is going to cheat on me? And that's a very fucked up mentality to have. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's a common mentality too.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying like people are saying, oh, I want to be with someone that cheats. They're just looking at it like, okay, what's the best scenario that I'm going to be with someone that's going to mistreat me, whatever shape, fashion, or form it comes in, that I'm able to put up with because they have these other qualities that I could endure that are worth being with. And to me, it's like healthy's healthy and unhealthy's unhealthy. Like, you shouldn't be like, my perception of a relationship is that, I used to be a pastor. I used to marry couples. I never been married. Be honest with you, bro, I never been in a serious relationship, been in love, you know? So when people tell me they wanted to marry them, to me was wild. But I'm not going to deny someone who asked me 20 times and it's their wedding day, most special day. I'm not going to keep telling them no. So I would, you know, refer them to a counselor to see, because I'm not married. I can't tell you shit about marriage. I've never been married. So go see a counselor, and if you see this counselor, then I'll marry you because I know that you got that base covered. But the one advice I would always give them, which I've said before on this podcast, is that if you meet a shorty, how old are you right now, K3?
I'm 28.
Okay, you're 28, right? 28. So let's say you meet a girl who's 28, 29. At 32, she's going to be a different woman. At 35, she'll be a different woman. At 32, you're going to be a different man. At 35, hopefully, if you keep growing as an individual, you're going to be a different person. What does that mean, bro? That means where you want to go on vacation, your hobbies, decorate your house, how you want to raise your kids, where they should go to school. All these things change and all these things arise. So if you're not willing to grow with someone, then you're not going to last. And that's just not just in like marriage in the most intimate sense of love. That's also in friendships. If I'm around dudes who like are stagnant and just happy with being complacent, then I'm not going to be friends with you for very long. You know, and that's not even on like we're going to have an argument or I'm going to talk shit about you behind your back. That's just not the vibe I want to be around. Typically, I surround myself with people who are better looking than me, more successful than me, and smarter than me. I'm not threatened by those things because those people are better than me, and if I'm around them, that's just going to naturally make me better. And there's hopefully something inside of me that makes them better as well. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to relationships, if you're not willing to grow with that person, obviously, look, besides the fact it takes work, besides the fact you're taking two different people, different backgrounds sometimes, and even if it's the same cultural background, you know, they're raised different. You know, they experience different forms of love, different forms of hate, different forms of discipline, different forms of whatever, you know, that looks like, different forms of communication between two people that they love. But if you're not willing to grow, besides the fact you got to put in the work with each other, if you're not willing to grow with that person, bro, who the fuck wants to go to the same fucking date night every Friday? Who wants to go on the same vacation every vacation? Who wants to go to see the same type of movie every movie night? Or when you're picking your movie with a streaming service, you're at the crib. Like, that shit becomes boring. You know what I mean? Like, I met a shorty the other night because I was smoke shop, so like, you know, weed smokers don't got bartenders yet in Florida. We don't have bud tenders yet, so people come to me, I like their bartenders. So they tell me all what's going on in their life. I become cool with them. So like, shorty was like, she got married 5 years, and she's like, her husband, she's thinking about divorcing, was like, he don't do nothing. Not okay, this is one side, just her perspective. I'm not trying to, whoever that guy is, God bless him, I don't know, right? He's like, yo, he never wants to do anything. He comes home, sits on the couch, that's every night. So to me, it's like, I mean, Betty touches me, we have no intimacy. It's like, so at that point, it's like, why you married? Like if I'm with my shorty or the shorties I've been with, like I'm excited to be around them. I want to explore new things. I want to have new experiences with them. I'm gonna be, loving on them, because if I don't think they're bad, then what the fuck am I with them? You know what I'm saying? So obviously, again, I've never been married, so my view of that is very limited in what I've actually been able to overcome and experience in relationships. But if you're not willing to grow with someone, bro, that's just gonna die.
It is 1,000%, and I think marriage is a completely different animal. I think a lot of people want weddings. I don't think motherfuckers really want to get married. I don't think people really want that smoke with life, because, like, if you look at the way, like, dating is gone about now, it's kind of like, it's like talking stages and situationships and shit like that.
Infatuation, basically, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's, like, boyfriend, girlfriend shit, and then there's, like, marriage, right?
Yeah.
And, like, people spend, like all their time, like, in here, the talking stage is like where they do the boyfriend girlfriend shit at. Yeah. And then when they get to the boyfriend girlfriend shit, it's like there's this kind of like energy to it, and this attachment to it, and almost an obligation that is like kind of mimicking and like parallel to marriage, and it's like, nah, like that's not how this works type shit, or at least not how it's supposed to work. Right? I can admit that so far in my life, I haven't gone about dating the way that God wanted me to. You know what I'm saying? It was always like some shit where like I meet a person and then I start praying to God about them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like ask about them.
Is this the one you sent me? I got you.
Yeah, like, or I would ask him, and then like maybe he didn't say anything, or maybe he said something I didn't agree with, and I dated.
We had the feelings.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But wait, I'm already attached. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Didn't you say you make a way out of no way?
You know, like all of that. Dog.
Your blood covers all sins.
Yeah, and then like when it all falls to shit, it's like, woe is me, woe is me. And it's like, nah, little nigga, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
So it's like, I don't know, like with.
I would say one thing about our faith that I, even though because I'm not one of those guys, just because I'm not involved with ministry, don't go to church. I'm not one of those like fuck the church. Like I'm not like church hurt. I mean, I've had wounds that come from being a ministry that I've overcome and I got healing from, but I'm not one of those people. Like, my faith is still a big part of my life. If you're around me, like, you're going to hear me listening to teachings. You're going to hear praise and worship music. Like, I'm never going to push it on anyone, but it's still that book's still the book that I go, even though I may have different thoughts on it now, that's still the book that I go to just for the most part, how I guide my life. But one thing that they did teach us that I do agree with that I think goes a long way, especially in the society we live in now. Most people may disagree with this, but living with each other before you get married is a no-no to our faith. And I think that that's like a huge, on various reasons. One, you don't really have nothing to look forward to. If I'm dating a girl for like 3 months and we move in with each other, like sleeping in the same bed with you, coming home to you every day, building a home, like creating a home, like that's out the window already. You know what I mean? And since we didn't work on a lot of the shit before we got to that level, now I'm looking at everything wrong. Instead of asking the question, hey, if we're serious about this relationship and we're going to move in together one day, like, do you bathe every day? Like, are you messy? Like, instead of, like, getting immediately into the situation and some shorty's super messy and you might be a clean freak, that's a turn off. Instead of saying, hey, if we're going to be serious about this one day and move in, I'm saying, cleanliness is important to me. So you can start working on that if you really want to be with that person. You know what I'm saying?
I dig
so
that.
There's certain aspects of like not living with someone. Now some people say, well, how can you live with someone the rest of your life if you never give it like a trial run? You know? Okay, but the whole point of a relationship is making each other better and building on that foundation of a relationship. And if we already immediately only see our flaws, like expectations a lot of times ruins a lot of shit. Like you got this expectation of something. And then, like, for example, like meeting my idols, like I have this expectation of Nas. I mean, bro, Nas's lyrics is in Harvard, bro. You know what I mean? Like, in Princeton. Like, Nas, like, so if I meet Nas one day and he's like super drunk and just saying some like belligerent shit, it's like, bro, you're Nas, bro. Like, You want to smack him, get it together. But since I had this expectation of who he is, and he doesn't meet that expectation, he might be having a bad day, bro. He just might have too much to drink. We all been there, whatever the situation may be. But my expectation of that ruined it. So I feel like in like relationships, when first of all, when you have those expectations, bro, I know shorties that have like a 12 list expectation. Bro, a dude could have 11 out the 12. He don't have that one. Oh, he's not for me.
Yeah, everybody has a list now.
It's like, what? Like, bro, what the fuck you mean? Like, bro, no one's fucking your idea perfect of anything. I don't even agree. Even the most brilliant minds I've come across, my mentors, people that I look up to, I don't agree with them on every single thing. If that's political views, religious views, life views, you know what I mean? But those are still the people that I admire the most for their brain, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you have these expectations on a lot of like steps, this is based on our faith. I'm not saying this is how everybody's supposed to live. I'm just talking about us because we are the same faith, so we can relate to this shit, right? So that perspective of how we approach relationships from our faith, I've always admired because it makes you think about like the future. Like I had one time this Messianic Jew. The Messianic Jew is the one with like the curls and the hats.
Hasidic Jews?
Hasidic Jew, right? So Hasidic Jews could only have sex with their wife like the day after their period. I might be butchering this, but it's along those lines. This is layman terms. I'm not Jewish. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm saying, but from what I understand from that faith, is that there's only a small like 2-3 day window that they can have sexual relations. So, you know, us being men, especially when I found this out, I was like 16, 17, I was like, bro, if you got like, high sex drive, I mean, I can only smash my girl 2-3 times a month. That's crazy, right? But then the girl explained it to me. She was like, hey, bro, it's just like, you got to look at it like this. So a lot of times we use sex to mask a lot of shit. So instead of like talking something out, we just smash. Or instead of like figuring, you know, what we're trying to say to each other, we might use sex to overcome that. Because look, a lot of people in this life, especially the most, I was reading this recently, the most promiscuous people or struggle with being promiscuous, no judgment, just saying, it was like 85% of those people, if not more, struggle with emotional trauma or PTSD. You know what I mean?
Tracks.
I come from, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I said this before on the thing, I was raped when I was a kid. I was molested several times. You know, when I left ministry, I was very promiscuous. And, you know, I say some wild shit sometimes based on sex. But I had trauma for a long time that I didn't address. You know what I mean? So she was like, there's certain shit that like we use, especially in American society, which is true, that we over-sexualize things. We use sex for a lot of things, and we don't actually get to the root issue of shit. So shit just keeps being unaddressed.
Yeah, I've been in a spot like that, where sex was just kind of holding everything together. Pretty much, shit was whack, quite whack. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at the moment, I'm pretty sure it was great, but yeah,
I mean,
long term.
I mean, yeah, bro, like it's fucked up because, like, my plan was to just wait until I was married. You know what I mean?
To have sex?
Yeah, bro. Like I was doing pretty good. Then fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's the worst, bro? Is that going without it and always wondering about it. Okay, once you get it, and then have to be celibate. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different ball game. You feel me?
Man, look to all
and then
the
also
people out
sometimes
there,
too. What?
Like to all the people out there, like, look, if you ain't had none yet, man, like, yo, and you know, of the faith, keep that shit going, bro. Like, keep that shit going, cause like I'm sure that if you were to ask anybody walking down the street if they could like do it over again, like if you could unfuck somebody, you would, like, everybody be doing it. Everybody be a virgin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's put it like this. Look, first of all, not all sex is good sex.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Let's eradicate that misnomer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a such thing as bad sex. Literally, like, as it's happening, I wish this wasn't happening. You know what I mean? There's also sex that leads to a lot of emotions that you might not be prepared for. Like, there is a such thing as, being dick slaying for women and being pussy whipped for men. You know what I mean? Where you're only with this person because that's the best sex you ever had. And there's really nothing else there, but you're a slave to the fact that you want to have that feeling over and over again.
It's that soul tie shit, man.
Definitely soul tie shit. And there's also a thing called, like, making love. I mean, like, having sex is cool, but speaking on relationships, ain't nothing like making love, man. Like, if you could really make love to someone that you adore, that you cherish, that's beautiful to you, I mean, you don't always want to make love. I mean, there's different times you want to bang one out. But I'm saying, like, making love and actually experience that with one person, becoming one with them, having that beautiful moment is incredible. Not everybody. I know people who've never made love.
Must be nice, nigga.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's that sort of thing is tough, bro. Cause it's like you say, we live like in a very like sexualized country, so like a lot of the opportunity to connect with the person on that level is just kind of like out the window for the most part. You know, you kind of try to facilitate that any way you can, I guess, via the toxicity that, you know, you were talking about earlier. But real deal, like, I'm not trying to get in no sort of soul bond relationship,
to live it and learn it, man.
Thing until like, you know, God put me there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for
right?
sure,
and,
for
you know,
sure.
that's, I can say that all day, every day, and, you know, like, still be out here. As
Meet someone
man,
tomorrow.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can meet a shorty like tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's tough. It's not easy, for sure.
Nah, by any means. I'm not like speaking as somebody that's like even correctly like moving that way. Like, I have to get back to that eventually somehow, and I pray that I do. You know what I'm saying?
You will
soon.
Yeah, you will.
Cause
You will, because it's definitely on your, you know, something you want. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I don't ask this question to every artist, but if you could have a feature with anyone, dead, alive, and local, who would it be?
Dead, like
Any genre, any whatever.
Prince, man.
You say Prince? I mean,
Prince,
I was
bro.
kind of,
It's gotta be Prince. I was trying to think.
expecting that one. Yeah.
Trying to think of just in case. No, it's gotta be Prince. It's gotta be Prince. Alive.
I can't say Kendrick.
I can't say Kendrick, so I'll say
Sweetie, Heard.
yeah. That would be dope. That would be so dope.
Eminem.
I would say Eminem, but he's gonna body me on the song, so we can't.
I mean, he body Hove, so it's a given.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta work on my pen just a little bit more. But I'd probably say, I don't know, like Alive, like, and poppin', like a celebrity type shit.
Oh no, live. I don't have to be popping, just live in general.
Yeah,
But
like,
there's artists I want to do songs with that ain't really popping no more.
I'd probably say, like, I'm kind of stuck between Stevie Wonder and like Morris Day.
Oh wow,
You know what I'm saying?
Morris Day's a good one. That's what's
You
up.
know what I mean?
That's not one I heard.
Yeah, like I'm stuck between the two of them, and like local. Like, I mean, I already mentioned, you know, working on stuff with Nico, want to do something with Yism. Local. I want to rap, like, on something that Rugod produced.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, because, like, I've, you know, heard some of his stuff, like, just in passing on social media and shit like that, and I'm like, bro, like, that's
I gotta check him out. Salute to Buddy.
yeah.
That's what's up. And then you being, I mean, I know you said you were born in Georgia. Where in Georgia you were born at? Augusta. Salute to Augusta. But you being, you know, basically a Tampa cat, if you had someone that you was cool with coming in out of town, never been to Tampa, what's the one night looking like? Like, where you got to take them, where they got to eat, where you got to vibe at?
Shoot, definitely, like, for the food spots, definitely gotta go. Like, damn, that's tough actually, because I'm trying to think of like Tampa places like to eat, because, you know, like, food is just dope. So I'd say, like, gotta go to Nana's for sure at some point, you know, for a smoothie or empanada, some cool shit like that, you know. Definitely gotta go to Ybor and just have, like, either a day or a night, really.
Right.
Probably a night more than likely. Gotta go to the Hub. If it's on like a Sunday night, we gotta go to Old Dirty
yes.
Sundays. If it's on a Tuesday night, we going to Shuffle. You know what I'm saying? If it's on a Thursday night, Smoking Words. You know, like, I'm pretty sure first and third Mondays are when Grow House does like their poetry slams and poetry workshops and stuff like that. Like I keep it local, like in the scene, you know, because that's a dope time, dope people to be around, dope things to hear.
And then last question, what's your favorite part about, like, you know, which I believe is an actual possibility, you getting to the point where we consider, you know, famous, like you're, you know, doing very well, of making music, you're touring, so forth and so on. What's your favorite part being the fact that you're you're a Tampa artist?
My favorite part about being a Tampa artist is just my people, my friends, like, you know,
The tribe?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's a Tampa tribe, you know what I mean? Like it's like that's what it feels like. It feels like one big ass village, you know, full of, you know, Tampa folk, just all wanting to make it and all with the ability and talent to make it, you know what I mean? So, you know, given that there's enough food for everybody and there's enough talent and just enough opportunity to go around, like there's, you know, there's no reason we can't like see everybody fly, you know what I'm saying? Like I love my city, you know, growing up here and encountering the scene in the way that I have is a beautiful thing and something I expect to take with me throughout my career.
For sure. And you know, just, you know, thank you for being you. You know, obviously the shuffle thing goes without being said, but, you know, just for me to you, thanks for like doing something like this. Thanks for always showing me love. Thanks for you know, being interested. I invited you out to my album listening party, album that I never dropped, but album listening party. You popped out, so it meant a lot, bro. You know, it meant a lot. And then I was being silly. I was like, I know you came just to listen to Azaro, Nico Sweet. Like, nah, bro, I came because you invited me. You know what I mean? And that meant a lot, bro. That meant a lot. So thank you for being true. Thank you for being a real one. And, you know, appreciate you, man. It's another episode of EO Radio. Appreciate all the listeners out there, all the follows out there, all the, you know. And this is just me from a humbly standpoint. I'm not saying this, like, mad at anyone. I'm just saying, look, man, we all trying to make it. So, like, if you come up to me and tell me, like, every person I interviewed, but you never liked a post or shared it, just as for me, you know, if you fuck with me, like, and you do like the content, even if you don't like me, but you like the content, like, just do me a favor as an up-and-coming artist, up-and-coming podcaster. You know, I don't, you know, even if it's a stereotypical fire emoji. You feel me? Give me the fire emoji. Yeah, man, you know what I mean?
Like and subscribe, bro.
And I do appreciate every listen. I do appreciate everyone who's been a part of this journey so far. Because I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, you get to a point, imposter syndrome is a real thing. Not saying that we are imposters, but feeling that imposter syndrome could fuck someone up.
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
And I was recently talking to a podcaster who kind of started at the same time I started. They were thinking about just, you know, you've been in the game, bro, just to fuck shit and, like, people not being solid or whatever the case may be, or people not supporting, and, like, they were thinking about, like, giving up. And there's times I think about that, and I'll be honest with you, I think about it for, like, 15 seconds. I still think about it for 15 seconds, but I still think about it for 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. Then after that 15 seconds is up, I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep going. You know, I'm going to keep at it. So anyone out there that's struggling with that, who might be second-guessing, who may not think they have the motion they think they should have, or the audience they think they should have. Yo, everybody starts from some point. Usually that is ground zero. So you ain't the only motherfucker that ever started from ground zero. Every major artist you ever known that you admire, look up to, started at fucking ground zero. You know what I mean? Unless you're one of these industry plants. That term is a fairly new term, but, you know, it's been around for a while. But, you know, yo, keep going, man. Follow your dreams. That's cliche to say, but follow your dreams. And if you can, which I know it's hard to do, I've been blessed to being able to do it, don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about you, man. Yo, it's the General Prolific, another episode of EO Radio. Salute!